Hey ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my reading journey. Today we're reading a new story. Hey ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the next video. Hey ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the next video. Hope you're all doing well, and we are continue with a new story. Past one at Rooney's. So let's begin. Only on the Lower East Side of New York do the houses of Capulet and Montague survive. There they do not fight by the book of arithmetic. If you but bite your thumb at an upholder of your opposite house, you have work cut out of your steel. On Broadway, you may drag your man along a dozen blocks by his nose, and he will only bowl for the watch. But in the domain of the East Side, Tibbles and Mer Mercurius, you must observe the need. Niceties, niceties of deportment to the wink of an eyelash and to an inch of elbow room at the bar when its patrons include fours of your house and kin. So when Eddie McManus, known to the Capulets as Cork McManus, drifted into Dutch Mike's far a setting of beer, and came upon a bunch of Montagues making merry with the suds. He began to observe the strictest par, parli, parliamentary rules. Parliamentary rules. Okay. Courtesy, forblade has lived the saloon with his thrist unslacked. Thrist unslacked. Caution steered him to a place. Steered to a place at the bar where the mirror supplied the cognizance of the enemy's movements that his indifferent gaze seemed to disdain. Cognizance seemed to disdain. Experience whispered to him that the finger of trouble would be busy among the chattering stains at Dutch Mike's that night. Close by his side drew Brick Cleary, his Mercuda, companion of his preambulations. Thus they stood for the Mulberry Hill gang and two of the Dry Dock gang, minding their peace and quiz. So soliciously, soliciously, soliciously. The Dutch Mike kept one eye on his customers and the other on the open space beneath his bar, in which it was his custom to seek safety whenever too ominous politeness of the rival associations congealed. congealed into the shapes of bullets and cold steel. But we have not to do with the wars of the Mulberry Hills and the dry docks. We must to Rooney's, where on the most blight and dead branch of the tree of life, a life pale orchid shall bloom. Overstrained etiquette at the last gave way. It is not known who first overstepped the bounds of the punch pun Poncelita. I don't know what's this, no idea. But the consequences were immediate. Back Malone of the Mulberry Hills, with a dewy like stiffness, get an 8-inch gun swung around swung around from his hurricane desk. But McManus' smile must be the torpedo. He glided in under he glided in under the guns and slipped a the scant 3 inches scant of knife blade between the ribs of the Mulberry Hill cruiser. Meanwhile, Bray Cleary, a devotee devotee to strategy, had skimmed across the lunch counter and thrown this switch of the electrics, leaving the combat to be waged by the light of gunfire alone. Dutch Mike crawled from his heaven and ran into the street crying for the watch instead of a Shakespeare to immortalize the Cimmerian shindy. The cop came and found the prostrate, prostrate, bleeding Montague, supported by three distraight, and reticent followers of the house, faithful to the edicts of the gangs. No one knew whence the heart came. There was no Capulet to be seen. Capulet. What is this? Rouse me their interrogatories, said Buck Malone to the officer. Sure, I know who done it. I always manages to get a bird's eye view of any guy that comes up and makes a showcase for a hardware store out of me. No, I'm not telling you this name. I'll settle with him myself. I'll settle with them with myself. Whoa, ouch. Easy, boys. Yes, I'll attend to his case myself. I'm not making any complaint. At midnight, McManus strolled around a pile of lumber near an east side dock and lingered in the vicinity of a certain water plug. Brick Cleary drifted cosily to the trysting place 10 minutes later. He'll maybe not a croak, He will maybe not croak, said Brick. And he won't tell, of course. But Dutch Mike did. He told the police he was tired of having his place shut up. It's unhandy just now because Team Core gains in Europe for weeks and end with Kings. He will be back on the Kaiser Williams next Friday. You will have to duck out of a sight till then. Tim will fix it up all right for us when he comes back. This goes to explain why Court McManus went into Rooney's one night and there looked upon the bright, stranger face of romance for the first time in his precarious career. Precarious, precarious career. Until Tim Corrigan should return from his jaunt among kings and princes and hold up his big white finger in private offices, it was unsafe to croak in any of the old haunts of his gang. So he lay perdu in the high rear room of a Capulet, reading pink sporting sheds and cursing, cursing the slow paddle wheels of the Kaiser Wilhelm. It was on Thursday evening that Croc's seclusion became into intoler, into intolerable intolerable to him. Never a heart painted for water fountain as he did for the cold touch of a drifting stain. For the firm security of a footrail in the hollow of his shoe, and the quiet, hearty challenges of friendship and repartee along and across the shining bars. But he must avoid the district where he was known. The cops were looking for him everywhere. Phineas was scared, and the newspapers were harping again on the failure of the police to suppress the gangs. If they got him before Corrigan came back, the big white finger could not be uplifted. It would be too late then. But Corrigan would be home the next day, so he felt sure there would be small danger in a little excursion that night among the crass pleasures that represented life to him. So that was the first part. See you tomorrow on the next one. Bye.